guys, it's Joshua Reviews, and yeah, Christmas, man. It's arriving quick. Can't believe we're already almost here. It's well, I've been on this good track record of releasing a review every day, so I got to keep the trend going. So today we're going to be taking a look at a infamous sequel to a pretty infamous movie. So let's get into it. Silent Night, Deadly Night is one of the most famous slashers ever made. One of the most controversial movies of its time when this came out. For those of you not aware, when this movie came out, it was under some controversy because of the theme of the killer Santa. And it did very well at the box office, but it was pulled from theaters pretty quick. So I guess after its success, the studio was like, hey, let's make Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 for fucking dirt cheap. Apparently they were trying to find a way to make a sequel but not spend a lot of money on making a sequel, if you get what I mean. I think one of the producers even said that they were just going to try to repackage the first movie, which would have been fucking horrible, but someone in the office or someone sitting down in the fucking office was like, hey, that's an awful idea, don't do that. Let's actually put an effort to make a sequel. So they put some more money into it, and we got Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, which came out on video back in whenever it came out. So yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Let's get one thing out of the way before we talk about this, though. This movie is infamously bad. This movie is known for being very, very dumb, very, not very good. The reception for this movie is about what you'd expect. If you know the meme. For those of you not aware, there's a famous meme, Garbage Day, and this movie is this is where that meme comes from. This is the movie that features the Garbage Day meme, and you know what you're getting yourself into if you know that meme. That one scene perfectly describes what this movie is. But I want to mention something before we get into the movie. The first 40 minutes of this movie is literally just footage from the first movie. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it's just footage from the first movie. It made it very, it made it feel I want to say uncohesive. It felt very janky while watching it, especially since I watched the franchise with a few friends of mine. And while watching this movie, we were both kind of in agreement that we'll just skip over the first 40 minutes. But here's the thing. In between the footage of the first movie is footage of, or new footage of Ricky, Billy's brother from the first movie, doing monologues and talking about what relation he had with his brother. And it's very janky, very all over the place, and honestly could have been cut entirely from the movie, especially since none of it really makes sense. Okay, so we follow Ricky, Billy's brother from the first movie, in this movie. At the very end of the first movie, spoiler alert, after Ricky witnessing his brother get killed, it's set up to pull a Part 4 Jason thing where Tommy Jarvis is supposed to be the next killer or whatever. And Ricky basically is taking the Santa mantle from Billy. So Ricky's supposed to be the new killer, and this movie picks up right after that. But we get introduced to him in a mental institution where he's being interviewed or interrogated by this psychiatrist. And he talks about events from the first movie, the first 40 minutes being the footage from the first movie. But here's the thing. In between the footage, it cuts in between Ricky. And the thing that I don't like about all this and this whole plot device narrative is the fact that there are moments that Ricky narrates over that is literally stuff that Ricky never would have seen. For example, in the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, Billy's family gets killed by a deranged Santa Killer. And Ricky at that point in time is a baby. Ricky talks about it like he was in the back seat watching all this unfold, even though he was a fucking toddler. So that makes no sense. But honestly, I'm just going to say it, the first 40 minutes of this movie is not very good. It's just footage from the first movie, and that's pretty much all there really is, besides a few moments of Ricky giving exposition and talking about where we're at. He's kind of catching us up. But once the 40-minute mark passes and we're actually getting into the story of the second movie, it's quite entertaining. This movie is surprisingly a lot of fun once you get past that first 40 minutes. Ricky, I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't expect to like Ricky this much because, well, I'll admit I've seen this movie before. I never really watched it in its entirety. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, which is funny because I reviewed this back in 2017, and in that review, I claimed that I've seen this movie before. That's half true. I've seen bits and pieces of this movie. I know how it unfolds, but I've never seen like all the way through. So yeah, this was my first time watching like all the way through. And I can say with confidence that I had a really good time with this. Yes, this is not a good movie. Let that be clear. This is not a good movie. It's literally just a cash grab. It's a thrown together movie by the studio. But honestly, there's something really charming about this movie. I really didn't expect to like Ricky's character. And honestly, I found his story to be more entertaining than Billy's story from the first movie. The thing I love about Silent Night, Deadly Night is that it takes itself seriously. And then when it gets to the slasher stuff, you're following Billy, and it works for me. It works for me that you're following Billy. It's not about the victims, it's about the killer, and I like that. It's refreshing to see a movie do that. That being said, it is, I would say, one of the more grounded slashers. Obviously, movies like Black Christmas are more grounded compared to Silent Night, Deadly Night, because this is still a slasher that focuses heavily on the gore, but I also like the fact that it puts the emphasis on the story. This movie just throws all that out the window and is like, you know what? Graphic kills, and we're just going to be wacky and goofy because, oh my God, the actor for Ricky is so batshit, and I love it. It's so hilarious. If you're going into this movie just knowing the meme Garbage Day, without having any other knowledge of anything else besides maybe the first movie, you're in for a fucking treat because holy hell, the actor playing Ricky is hilarious in the role. His line delivery and performance is just so wacky and out there that I was just like, I am enjoying the hell out of this, and I don't want this movie to end. Again, it's only the last 30 minutes of the movie, but I digress. It was still entertaining. And some of the kills in this movie are actually pretty solid. There's an umbrella kill that's pretty creative. There's a kill with a jumper cable, and obviously the most infamous kill, Garbage Day. I will say this movie doesn't really feel like a Christmas movie up until the very end when Ricky puts on the Santa suit, because I mean, it's a sequel, but honestly, it really kind of just feels like a name alone sequel, if that makes sense. It really just kind of feels like they slapped the title on another story, but it's whatever. I didn't really care until like the very end when it's like all Christmassy, and I'm like, okay, that works for me. I mean, Santa, this is a Santa killer, right? So I want to see the Santa killer, and it only becomes a Santa killer at the end. It's a little it's whatever. It's whatever. Every now and then we cut like back and forth between this plot framing device where he's talking to a psychiatrist and doesn't really add to anything except giving more awkwardly delivered Ricky lines, which I loved. So, take that for what it's worth. But, yeah, this movie's flawed. Very flawed. It's not a good movie. The acting is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But the awkward line delivery and just batshit insane Looney Tunes type that Ricky's actor gives is just amazing. And I could watch it all day. And honestly, I would say this movie would work less if it was played by any other actor, which I will get into when I review part 3 tomorrow, so stay tuned. But I digress. This movie really should not work for me. Well, no. What am I saying? It would work for me. For some others, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for everyone. If you like movies like The Room, where it's like so bad it's good, you will like this movie because it's just wacky. It's wacky, and it's honestly a lot of fun in my opinion. Nothing really makes sense in this movie. It's just kind of sloppily thrown together, but it all strangely works. I don't know. There's just something about it's just charming. It's just charming. And I can honestly see myself watching it again. Except the first 40 minutes. Fuck that. Because the first 40 minutes legitimately suck. It's just footage from the first movie, which I don't mind because I like the first movie. But like when you're telling a new story, when you're doing a sequel, I don't want you to repeat it. All right? I want you to do something new. Unless you're Home Alone 2, in which case I give you a pass. So, but anyways, guys, if we're being critical here, I'm going to give this movie an F, but if we're getting my personal opinion, my personal rating, I'm going to give this movie a B. Again, it's not a good movie. It's not perfect, but damn it, I love it. So yeah, guys, we're going to watch the rest of the franchise. I'm not looking forward to it. It should be fun. Hey, yeah!